Hey, Rodney. What you doing in there, Rodney? Oh, let me guess. You don't like it when people invade your personal space. You gonna be much longer, Rodney? We got a recipe to do. Yeah, we're doing that curry gravy like we had in the UK. Gonna dip some chips in it? Yeah, boy, that is tasty. Well, hurry it up. Stick around, I'm gonna show you how. For crying out loud, Rodney, light a match. Alright y'all, for this here recipe, we're going to need 2 cups of chicken stock, some minced garlic, some minced and peeled ginger root. Going to need some butter, margarine, or ghee, some raisins, the juice of half a lemon, a couple of large onions, some Chinese 5-spice, some curry powder, and some arrowroot powder or cornstarch. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Eating Good in the Woods, a channel that shows you just because you're camping doesn't mean you gotta eat like a hobo. Yes, I did something about my hair. Mrs. Eating Good in the Woods was a little tired of the old COVID cut, so she made me go to the beauty parlor. That's fine, I kinda like it myself, I hope y'all do too. Anyway, listen, before we go any further, do this old man a big favor. If you hadn't done so already, press that subscribe button, click off the bell icon, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment or two, share it to your friends. Y'all know what to do. I've made no secret about this. Me and Mrs. Eating Good in the Woods love Scotland. In fact, Mrs. Eating Good in the Woods is a second-generation American. Her grandfather immigrated here from Scotland. Some of the foods over there we miss greatly when we're not able to go, like in these unprecedented times. One of which is anytime you go to a chip shop and get you a fish and chips or something of that nature, usually on the menu is this stuff that they call curry sauce. They love it in the UK, so I found a recipe on how to make it. So for dinner tonight, we're having chips with curry sauce, and then I'm going to do the coconut chicken that I have another recipe for. I'll put the link just up here. But just for this video, we're just doing the gravy. We're going to start off with some sort of butter, ghee, some sort of margarine, butter substitute, whatever you happen to use. We're going to get about 3 whopping tablespoons of this, and we're going to let it melt. Now, while that's set off to the side melting, we're going to prepare 2 large onions. I'm going to dice them fine, and about a thumb-sized piece of ginger. That'd be about that much right there. So we've got our onions peeled, and we're going to cut them down into bits really fine. We're going to go about this size here. We want them small because ultimately our goal is to put an immersion blender in them and make a somewhat smooth sauce out of this. Post-COVID depression is a real thing. So I'm asking you again, please check in with your loved ones, check in with your family, check in with all the people you care about. Sadness is often hidden. Depression is a real thing. Reach out to them, tell them you love them. All right, we're done slicing this, and we're going to put it in with the butter. So there's our ginger chopped. Going to add that to the pot, as well as about 4 cloves of garlic. That right there ought to be about it. I'm going to let that saute on about a medium-high heat for 15 to 20 minutes or until the onions start to get clear and translucent. Okay, so nowhere on here did it say to add salt and pepper. If you want to, you go right ahead. Or might I suggest, That's right. Bad Byron's Butt Rub. There's a link in the description where you can go and buy this stuff. Great stuff. All right, if you look down here, you can see we've about achieved the kind of color we want on these onions. So we're going to add to that. Listen, first of all, I want to say the original recipe calls for 1/3 cup of raisins. That's an awful lot of raisins for a diabetic. So I've cut that down considerably, and we're going to add just a little bit of stevia to make up for the sweetness. But in here, we have 3 tablespoons of curry powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and 1/3 of a teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice. And into there it goes. We're going to let that simmer for a little while longer, basically until those raisins kind of rehydrate and plump back up. We got the perfume kind of coming off the spices. Ooh, wish y'all could smell this. We're going to add in just a little bit of our 2 cups, and I saved back just a little bit of the chicken stock, so I have something to mix in our thickener with. We're going to add in just a little bit of that, keep it from scorching the bottom. Let that go for another few minutes. Then we're going to add the rest of the chicken stock and let it simmer for a bit. Now would be a good time to go ahead and add your juice from half a lemon, and 3 tablespoons of malt vinegar. 1, 2, 3. Now would be a good time to add the rest of your chicken stock. We're going to let that simmer probably for another 15 minutes anyway. Now before we blend, I want to taste this just to make sure it doesn't need any salt. It's going to need just a little salt. Some Bad Byron's Butt Rub. We're going to put in, I don't know, start with about half a teaspoon and we'll go from there. We're going to put in the old, that's right, the old West Melbourne Vitamix. That's right, the 10-year-old immersion blender held together with tape. Hey y'all, I have opened a Teespring shop. This is a way for you guys to help support my channel and get some cool stuff in the meantime. Click on the link down in the description there. I've got things like coffee mugs, stickers, t-shirts, hoodies, that sort of thing. Give it a look. I sure would appreciate it. Now that is thoroughly blended. Let's take a look at what it looks like now. Now, while it's still got a little heat to it, we're going to add in our arrowroot powder. This is a little bit of that chicken stock with whatever was left of those spices in this here bowl. A heaping tablespoon of arrowroot powder. You can use cornstarch. We're going to thicken this up just a hair. It's already pretty thick. So I gave it a taste just a second ago, and quite frankly, I think it needed a little more curry powder in it. So I put about another tablespoon of curry powder. Let's give it a taste. That right there, that's hardly fit to eat. But I'm going to keep going until I find a good spot. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Click on the bell icon. Give me a thumbs up. Y'all know what to do. So until next week, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. God bless you guys. Go out there and be nice to each other. And until next week, don't stop till you find a good spot. Bye.